Welcome to Football Roundup with your host, Randy Silver, where we break down the biggest sports stories daily from our favorite game, football. Today we have Europa League and Conference League Matchday 1 review. We're going to go over the scores, the big games, stats, standings, and so much more for you. Let's not waste our time. Let's dive into it. Europa League first. Here are the scores from Europa League. Let's go over some of the big names here. Bayer Leverkusen wins 4-0 over Hacken. Roma beat FC Sheriff in a good game. Lukaku got his goals there. 2-1, and we'll get dive into that game. Liverpool, after going down 1-0, beat Lask 3-1. We'll dive into that game. You can see some of the other scores. Other games to make note of. Ajax and Marseille played in a very thrilling game, 3-3. We're going to dive into that for you. Italian giant Atalanta wins 2-0 over Raquel. The biggest shocker of the day, Brighton Hove Albion lose to AEK Athens 3-2. Also in the Europa Conference League, Aston Villa lost 2. Two EPL teams who you expect to be big time, come in here, beat lesser competition, lose. Both these teams haven't played in Europe a lot, while these lesser teams do play year over year, so they're more a test of the competition, can be why. After Brighton beat Man U during the weekend, they lose here. Surprising. Rangers beat Real Betis 1-0. Good win for them over a La Liga team. And then West Ham, they show out for the EPL win 3-1. So let's go over the standings. West Ham have 3 points. Freiburg have 3 points. Their teams, Olympiacos and Topia, have 0 points. Athens is leading the group with 3 points. Marseille has 1. Ajax has 1. Brighton with 0. That's the group of death right there. That could go anywhere. Sparta Prague and Rangers both have 3, while Betis and Limassol have 0. Atalanta and Sporting CP have 3, while Graz and Rocco have 0. Liverpool, 3 points in Group E. Toulouse and Union with 1. Lask with 0. Group F, Rennes and Panathinaikos have 3 each. Villarreal and Maccabi Haifa have 0. Group G, Slavia Prague 3, Roma 3, FC Sheriff and Servette with 0. And then Group H, Bayer and Krabag with 3, Mold and Haken with 0. We'll go over this again in the very end. Let's go over some stats. When we look at top scorers in Europa League, we have some familiar names. A couple of people got 2 goals. Again, this is match day 1. You can recognize Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He is with Borussia Dortmund, with Arsenal, with Chelsea. Now he's at Marseille. A couple of goals today. This will obviously thin out as the games go on. We look at the assists. James Ward-Prowse, first time playing in Europe, 2 assists, and we'll talk about that. Again, just balling out, and goals plus assists, a bunch of people will be tied with 2. Dive into some of the games. Roma win 2-1. As we said, Lukaku got his first goal with Roma here. Very nice. First goal in Europa League for Roma. Sheriff put up a decent fight. They went down 1-0, got it back. Lukaku put it away. Roma should win this game when you have El Shaarawy. You got Lukaku. You have Dybala. You have other players on the team who are just balling. Jose Mourinho is the head coach, but he's currently not coaching for them. He's suspended after his tirade after the Europa League final last season. So he will be off the touchline for quite a while. You can see Dybala came as a sub. Roma really dominated this game. When you look at shots, percentage of possession, all that goes with it. So surprising. It wasn't more than 2-1. Congrats to Sheriff for keeping it close. Could have been more. Liverpool ended up getting a 3-1 win. They went down to Lask 1-0. Flecker had a very nice goal. It was a hard shot through players outside the box. Nothing that Keller, the backup goalie for Liverpool playing in Europa League, could do. 1-0 halftime, feeling good, and then Liverpool showed out in the second half. 3 unanswered goals by the big boys, Nunez, Diaz, and Salah, and took the win. When we look at the stats here, they completely dominated as well. Total shots, possession, corners. So it looked like they were going to win this game throughout. Just needed to get those goals. This was probably the funnest game of the day, back and forward. Ajax went up 1-0 in the 9th minute, 2-0 in the 20th minute. Marseille got one back in the 23rd minute. Marseille got one by Aubameyang, his first goal in Europe with Marseille to 2-2 a half. Taylor for Ajax scored to make it 3-2. Marseille scored in the 7th minute to make it 3-3. A lot of names here you're going to recognize from other bigger teams. Bergeron right here. You have, we talked about Aubameyang. It was a fun matchup in this game. You look at the stats, pretty even. 3-3 game shows that. Total shots, possession, all around. Again, they're in the group of depth. Right here you can see, so it'll be tough to see who comes out of this. Atalanta just showing this a pretty easy win, 2-0. Big name in Italy. They were in Champions League semifinals, quarterfinals a couple years ago. Looking to try to get back through Europe. Biggest shock of the day, Athens beat Brighton 3-2. Brighton went down 1-0, tied the game on the penalty 1-1, went down 2-1 at halftime, come back and get a penalty to make it 2-2. You think they'd go on to win it while they're at home too. But no, Athens with a shock win, 84th minute, get the goal and see out the game. Wild. Just there was 13 minutes of stoppage time here. Brighton have been doing so well in the EPL to start the season. Ansu Fati's on the team. You have Minamino, Pedro. You expected them. Milner's got much Champions League experience, but they were not able to get the win. Good building block for this team to come back, but you can't be giving up points in this or getting no points because this is a group of depth. Going into France to play Marseille, going in the Netherlands to play Ajax are not going to be easy games. And we know Greece home games are very tough as well going into Athens. So they need to get a 3 points after this. When we look at the possession, they dominated. 75% possession, total shots, big chances. They just need to put this away. They'll probably kick themselves after seeing this game, and they will hopefully bounce back. EPL team that did not have any issues was West Ham, won 3-1. They did go down in the 48th minute to 1-0. It was 0-0 at halftime. And then Petrovic got an own goal. Looked like it could have been not an own goal, but they gave it his own goal. Kudos, goal 4 minutes after, 12 minutes after that, Sukic goal. Ward-Prowse, 9.1 rating, 2 assists, dominated midfield. He has come in and played the Declan Rice role for perfection for West Ham. We know he's a set-piece master, and it showed here. His assist came off of corner kicks that were perfect balls in there. West Ham absolutely dominated this game. You can see total shots, possession. They deserve this one. Sporting CP and Strum. Sporting CP won 2-1, showing this game because Sporting CP was down in the 58th minute, down 1-0. Got a goal in the 76th minute, tie 1-1, and went out and won the game in the 84th minute. Sporting CP, one of the big powerhouses in Portugal, able to get a big win here after not starting the game the best. That is your Europa League review. Now let's move into Europa Conference League. Here are the scores from the Europa Conference League. On Wednesday, a very abnormal Wednesday game in Conference League, Europa League. Lille beat Olympia 2-0. Going down the scores, some big names you recognize. Frankfurt won 2-1 over RB Dean. Fenerbahce won 3-1 over Nordsjælland. Genk, Fiorentina played the exciting game, tied 2-2. Fiorentina lost in the Europa Conference League finals last season to West Ham. Aston Villa lost to Legia Warsaw 3-2, another EPL team going down. And then the other games here, you're going to not recognize most of these teams. They're from smaller countries throughout Europe. We look at the standings here. Lille and Brastavia in 3-3. And then the other teams have 0 points. Group B, Maccabi Tel Aviv with 3 points. Ghent Zora with 1. Group C, Dynamo Zagreb and Victoria Plzen with 3 points each. Group D, Besiktas, Club Brugge, Bode, and Lugano all have 1 point each. Group E, Warsaw and Mostar with 3 points. Group F, Fenerbahce is leading the group with 3 points. Group G, Frankfurt and Palk both have 3 points. And finally, Group H, Fenerbahce and Razagard both have 3 points. Who's leading the stats? So we can see here. A lot of people had 2 goals today. Good for them. So you can see there right here who's at the leaderboard. This will shake out. On assists, Fred is now playing the Turkish League for Fenerbahce after leaving Manchester United. He had 2 assists on the night. Good for him. He used to play Champions League level. He's now playing Europa Conference League level. Expect him to do this well. Speaking of Fenerbahce, you can see here they won 3-1. Fred playing in the left midfield, 2 assists, have an 8.9 rating. They have Batshuayi at striker. So they have a pretty solid team here, trying to get themselves back top of Europe, top of Turkey. Expect them to get a 3-1 win. When you look at the stats here, they didn't dominate possession. They definitely had more shots, so a little bit surprising in that. but they got the W, and that's what matters. What matters to Aston Villa was they lost 3-2. They gave up a goal in the 3rd minute, and they got it right back in the 6th minute by Duran to make it 1-1. Gave up another goal in the 26th minute, and then they tied it back by Digne to make it 2-2. 51st minute, early second half, gave up a goal 3-2, and they could not get it back. Aston Villa, obviously, last season started pretty poor, and then they had an amazing run in the second half of the season. They were like top 4 in terms of points, won in the second half of the season, got them the Europa League here, Europa Conference League. However, a lot of these players probably haven't played in Europa League before, so it's a learning experience just like Brighton. But, Bailey plays internationally. Tellman played for Leicester City in Champions League. So they do have some experience here. Martinez obviously won Champions League. The World Cup with Argentina. So you expect a little bit more from him. When we look at stats, just absolutely dominated. If they played 9 out of 10 times, they would win 9 of those times. Just not their night. You think that they'll still come through this group, but it's a good wake-up call for them. Fiorentina and Genk, we said this was a good game. It was 1-1 going in the 20th minute. Fiorentina got a second goal, 23rd minute, and then McKenzie scored in the 85th minute for Genk to tie it at 2-2. Again, Fiorentina was in Europa Conference League final last season. They have experience bringing back a lot of the team. Expect them to win these types of games. They have the experience. And then Club Brugge, Besiktas. Look at this, 0-0 in the 77th minute. Brugge scored, and then Besiktas scored in the 88th minute to make it 1-1. Again, a lot of talent on this field for both teams. They're used to being in Europe, so they can play these types of games usually on the normal level. It was a fun game. Expect both these teams to probably come out of their respective group. That is your Europa League and Conference League Matchday 1 review, going over the big games, stories, summaries, and more. Thank you for watching. Comment your thoughts. How'd your team do? How's the standings looking? Obviously, it's early, and we'll dive into more. But if you like this stuff, go ahead and subscribe to Futbol Round-Up on Randy Silver TV. We also do Hoops Round-Up. We have MMA Round-Up. We have Gridiron Round-Up. So we have all these shows for you on Randy Silver TV, diving into sports. We'll be back for Match Day 2, which is October 6th-ish. And of course, we put out Futbol Round-Up and the weekend for domestic league, and then midweek stuff like this. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.